Okay, we're up to Matthew chapter 25. Yesterday we did 24 and I got a little stunned. That was a deep one. I did look up the abomination of desolation, and it's defined as something that causes disgust or hatred. And I looked up in the Blue Letter Bible. It also means a blasphemous act of desecration in the holy temple. Just in case anybody else was wondering, because I had to look it up. I had to reread it in King James Version also and look at other iterations to get that. But we are at chapter 25, the parable of the 10 virgins. At that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took the lamps and went out to meet the groom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. When the foolish took their lamps, they didn't take oil with them. But the wise ones took oil in their flasks with their lamp. When the groom was delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. In the middle of the night there was a shout, "Here's the groom! Come out to meet him!" Then all the virgins got up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise ones, "Give us some of your oil, because our lamps are going out." The wise one answered, "No, there won't be enough for us and for you. Go instead to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." When they had gone to buy some, the groom arrived, and those were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later, the rest of the virgins also came and said, "Master, Master, open up for us." He replied, "Truly, I tell you, I don't know you. Therefore, be alert, because you don't know either the day or the hour." The parable of the talents. For it is just like a man to go on a journey. He called his own servants and entrusted his possessions with them. To one he gave 5 talents, the other 2 talents, and the other 1 talent, depending on each one's ability. Then he went on a journey. Immediately the man who received 5 talents put them to work and earned 5 more. In the same way, the man who earned 2 earned 2 more. But the man who had received 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. The man who had received 5 talents approached, presented 5 more talents, and said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I've earned 5 more." The master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You are faithful over a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy." The man with 2 talents also approached, and he said, "Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I've earned you 2 more." His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Share your master's joy." The man who received 1 talent also approached and said, "Master, I know you. You're a harsh man, reaping where you haven't sown and gathering where you haven't scattered seed. So I was afraid and went off and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what is yours." His master replied to him, "You evil, lazy servant. If you knew that I would reap where I haven't sown and gather where I haven't scattered, then you should have deposited my money with the bankers, and I would have received my money back with interest when I returned. So take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have more than enough. But for the one who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. And throw this good-for-nothing servant into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. When the Son of Man comes to his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them from one another, just as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or without clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and visit you? And the king will answer them, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Then he will always say to those on the left, depart from me, you who were cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger and you didn't take me in. I was naked and you didn't clothe me, sick in prison and you didn't take care of me. Then they too will answer, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or without clothes or sick or in prison and not help you? Then he will answer to them, truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me. And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. Okay. One, the parable of the talents. That one is it's good. It's all good. Well, because he gives you and you're supposed to multiply it. So God gives you grace and you give grace to people too. You multiply that grace. He gives you his word and your job is to speak it and teach more. So more people get his word. So it's good that I read that today. A lot of people try to take advantage of that generosity in some people. However, if you got it, give it. If you don't have it, give what you can. It's like the same thing with tithing. Give what you're supposed to give. It's going to come back. God will get you, give to him and he will multiply. He's like one of the servants. The talent was given to him and he multiplies it. You're giving your tithe to him and he'll multiply whatever you have. The one about the sheep and the goats. And that reminds me of the movie Dogma with like I think Chris Rock, Jay and Silent Bob, I think Chris Rock, yeah, I think it's Chris Rock, and Matt Damon or something like that, or Ben Affleck, one of the, look up the movie, I can't remember who the characters are, but I definitely know Jay and Silent Bob are in it. However, when they are saying, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. So like in that movie, there was a homeless person that didn't get help. And it turned out in the end, he was the one. And it clicked in my head as soon as I read that part, because it's like nobody did anything for him. And like he got attacked only to find out later that he was holding the spirit. He's the one that we should have been helping. And if you haven't seen the movie, it might be a little controversial because I haven't seen it in years. However, I do remember it. And there's some things in it that are not Christian-like, but there are some things that make you think. And I think it's something that some people, like a lot of people, I think people should watch it. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it as the end all be all. That's what the Bible is. But yeah, I want to read this again. Be mindful of who you help, who's asking for help. Because, and also think to yourself, would I want this from somebody? Like, think about it. If you were sick or thirsty or needed something, you would want somebody to help you. So when you go and do those types of things, just think, I'm doing this because I would want somebody to do this for me. And after doing it so often, it just becomes second nature. It should already be second nature, but I know a lot of people don't do things like that. But I'm going to read it again. Ooh, Lord. Let's get that back out. Anyways, happy Monday. I have to go finish making my cinnamon rolls. Yes. And then cook dinner.